I totally forgot to film an intro earlier when I filmed this video, so just wanted to quickly set the tone. It's gonna be a short, chatty, get ready with me video, and I'm gonna talk all about my house hunting process, where I'm at with some of my friendships, and a little bit about my family update. It's also a first impressions with the new In Beauty cleanser with the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Moisturizer, the Tower 28 Bronzino, and I show you a couple different kind of cherry red lip options for summer. So to get started, I'm going to take off all of my sunscreen right now with the new In Beauty Keep It Clean Hydrating Gel Cleanser. Now this is super exciting because this doubles as both a first cleanser and a second cleanser. So I got this little info card and it says 2 ways to keep it clean. To remove makeup, apply 2 to 3 pumps on a dry face using dry hands. Massage into skin, break up makeup and sunscreen, rinse with warm water. Or obviously you can use it on wet skin as a second cleanser. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and let's give it a shot. We're gonna have to see how this goes because I'm not at the sink right now, but oh well, it's a bathroom. It can get a little messy here. Let's see, does it have a scent? Ooh, it's nice. It's like very subtle. Maybe something that smells a little bit like cucumbers. And the info card says that it has vegan collagen. It has ceramides, which my skin absolutely loves to help strengthen my skin barrier. And it has 10 amino acids to help with your skin's resilience. So I added some water and it does look like everything's just come right off just in that first dry cleanse, which is very interesting. I was not expecting that to work so well. And now I'm just gonna go in and do like a proper second cleanse. Skin is cleansed, and I have to say, this has exceeded expectations. I've never had a product that could function as both a first and a second cleanse. If this can just reduce the amount of products I have to keep in my shower and travel with, absolutely sold. So I will use this on a full face of makeup tonight, and I'll probably update you in next week's YouTube video. Okay, next, I'm gonna test out the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. This is not a new product, but it is new to me. It looks like it's pretty sheer, just like a nice little tinted moisturizer. I have the shade Fairfax. Got the little info card, and I do have the lightest shade, so hopefully it's not too light. It has 12.6% zinc oxide, prickly pear, which helps to be reparative and it helps protect from blue light pollution. It has centella, which is an anti-inflammatory, aloe vera that helps soothe skin and provides antioxidants. Tower 28 is amazing because they never have any fragrances or essential oils. They are sensitive skin friendly, which is music to my ears. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some with a brush. It's a tad light, but you know what? This is so sheer, I'm sure it's gonna work out just fine. You guys know that generally, if I'm gonna wear a base product, I like something that's a little bit more full coverage, just strategically placed in the areas that I want it. But I am curious to try this out. Like it looks pretty beautiful, and it's actually, I think it's more coverage than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be super, super sheer, not really give me any coverage, and then at that point you're like, why am I wearing this in the first place? That's just generally how I feel about tinted moisturizers. But it definitely did perfect my skin, evened out the tone a little bit. And it's a good thing I have some hormonal breakouts today, because you can see the breakouts still come through. You would need to use concealer, but generally I just look like I have, you know, nice, even, radiant skin. I like this much more than the Say Slip Tint. So if you were curious about the comparison between Tower 28 Sunny Days and the Say Slip Tint, this is significantly thinner in texture, and it's not nearly as dewy as the Say Slip Tint. I really do find that Say's products are so beautiful separately, but together I find that their products are just way too dewy. Like you have the Say Sun Visor, which is one of the wettest looking formulas I've ever tried. You have the Slip Tint, which is super, super dewy. You have their Dew Blush, which is like a gloss for your cheeks. So I would like to see Say come out with some products that aren't like so wet looking, because I do think that they are fantastic at developing formulas. So just gonna go in with my Fit Glow Concealer really quickly before we get into the Tower 28 Bronzino. Okay, yeah, with my full coverage concealer underneath, I think that really helped pull everything together. Really enjoying the complexion so far. And now I'm gonna conceal my blemishes with my beloved Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. The Tower 28 Bronzino is the only other new product I have to review today, so once I get through that, then I'll kind of move into the chatty like life update portion for you. So this is the Tower 28 Bronzino in the shade Best Coast, which is their lighter of their two shades. It just feels like a balm as you're rubbing it, just a classic balm. And it definitely has some shimmer particles and quite a glossy, dewy finish. It's a very subtle color, very sheer. I don't even know if that's gonna show up on my skin so much. Maybe I could use it as a highlighter even. That might be really pretty. But we're gonna try it as a bronzer because I think that's how it's intended. And for that, I'm just going back in with my Beauty Pie foundation brush. I'm just gonna pick some up. I'm nervous it's gonna be like way too dewy and glossy for me. Yeah, I think this might be a little too light for me. Maybe this is more of a highlighter. And it says you can put it under cheekbones. Let me try on the high tops of my face. This is probably gonna be a pass for me. It's just literally not showing up on my skin at all because it is like almost the exact color of my skin tone. We're gonna skip this as a bronzer and I'm gonna try it as a highlighter instead and see if that works. So instead for bronzer, I'm just gonna take my Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, which I cannot stop reaching for. This stuff is absolute magic. Just watch what happens to my skin as I apply this. And you can just put it everywhere. It's not gonna set down. You have plenty of time to blend. And it's just gonna make your skin look so radiant and so healthy and bronzed without looking like makeup. You like cannot overdo this product. That's why I love it so much. So I just put it all over my face like that, and it might look like a lot right now, but you'll see it really does just effortlessly blend into the skin, and it just blurs your skin a little bit. It makes you look like you've gotten some really wonderful color. And despite that really quite dewy, glossy texture, I find that after a few minutes, it does set down a little bit so that it doesn't look quite as glossy, and it's easy to powder it and it doesn't get super greasy or anything like that. Don't forget the ears. Now I'm gonna go in with my Fit Glow Brow Gel in Taupe Blonde, and now we can start the chatty portion of the video because I'm done reviewing everything new. So the current update is John and I are desperately trying to buy a house in LA. You know, we could have afforded a condo in the Arts District years ago, but our dog Thumper has very specific needs. If you don't know the full story, John found our dog Thumper as a wild puppy in Afghanistan when he was deployed in 2012. He worked with an organization called Puppy Rescue Mission to raise money to bring him home. So you have to understand, Thumper is not a domesticated animal who could just stay inside all day. He actually has full-on panic attacks if we bring him inside during the daytime. It can be 110 degrees and Thumper wants to be outside. So we could never buy a property that doesn't have a yard. And when you are looking at houses in LA that have yards, it's very expensive. Thumper did live with us for 3 years in our LA apartment in Echo Park, but he literally started dying. Like, he started having really bad arthritis. He was having severe panic attacks, having to be inside an apartment all day. I can't believe we forced him to live in an apartment for 3 years. I feel like such a bad mom. So we vowed never, ever, ever to force him to be in a property where he can't be outside all day. He's not just a dog to us, you know? Thumper is our therapy animal. We see him as our son. And he doesn't even act like a normal dog. Like, if you've seen him on Instagram, he's such a special creature. He's honestly like a unicorn. He's so special. He's like really gentle and wise and intuitive and expressive. He's just like not even a dog to me, you know? He like really truly is our son. We just love him so much. Taking the Persona Cream Blush Stick and Kiss. So we decided to actually rent an Airbnb or book an Airbnb for the whole month of August in LA because it's just been really hard for us to try to house hunt while we're so far away. And if you're new here, we are renting this house from my boyfriend's parents. We're currently living in Humboldt County, California, in a town called Garberville, and we absolutely love it here. It's just like a slice of California country life. There are redwoods everywhere. The temperature is amazing. There's just so much lush greenery, and it's so peaceful. It's a slower pace of life. We really needed this year here to rent this house, watch Thumper thrive and be so happy running around the property, and for us to just reconnect after years and years and years of, you know, John's brutal entrepreneurship journey, the pandemic, living with his family in their house in the Bay Area for 2 years. Like, we needed this year of peace in the country, like with just us, having a year of peace, basically. And the hard part is we really don't want to lose this property. Unfortunately, John's parents are gonna sell this house when our lease is done, so we're just savoring every moment that we possibly can here because this house and this property and this place has done so much for us and helped us heal. But the thing is, it's too country for us to live full time. You know, if we could afford this as our second property, that would be incredible, but we are just certainly in no financial place to buy 2 houses. You know, like there aren't really any places where we can go get like a really good cocktail, you know, that's what we love, and a really good meal. There's like 2 cafes in town. There's a hotel that has a dinner menu that never changes. So it just doesn't have enough like culture and activities for us to do. We have to drive over an hour just to go see a movie. You know, it's not enough of a balance for us to be able to live here permanently. Gonna go in with the Bronzino again, just see if I can use it on the tops of my cheeks. We did put an offer in on a house. It was our first offer. So that was good to get an understanding of like where we're at in terms of competition. But we decided to turn it down because they wanted us to go into a full-on bidding war, and the property just wasn't really like that special enough for us to fight for it. And now I'm gonna powder just to see if I can take down some of the shine. So anyways, we put an offer on a house finally. It was terrifying because we'd never done that before, had no idea what to expect. I'm glad that now we know what the process is kind of like, so that if something pops up in August, we'll be there, we can put an offer in, we can fight for it and hopefully get our dream house. And you know, what's really exciting to me is I've just been living in limbo for several years now. You know, we lived in our LA apartment, then the pandemic hit, we moved in with John's parents in their house in the Bay Area. And I did not have any kind of like filming room where I could design a space and make it my own and make it a beautiful YouTuber spot, unfortunately. So I just feel like I've had to make do with our living situation for a long time. I'm just really excited to have my own house where I can design a filming setup for YouTube that looks nice and is just plug and play and I don't have to set it up every single time. I feel like this blush keeps fading. Is it just me or do I keep just trying to blend it out too much? So we've got some good things coming up, very exciting, but obviously it's very stressful to buy a house. Manifest some good vibes for us. I'm just really hoping we can find a property where Thumper's happy, you know? But right now I'm gonna go in with my Rowan 75 degrees quad and I'm gonna use this one right here. So I also wanted to answer a question that one of you submitted for the Hot Ones video because I thought it was a really great question and definitely something worth discussing here. Someone asked me to provide a little bit of an update on some of my friendships because previously I've said that, you know, I really didn't feel like I had super close friends because I said that I didn't have super close friends that I could just really wholeheartedly rely on. But they said that they saw a lot of pictures of me out with friends and they just asked me to kind of like clarify what I meant by that. And I think it's a great question. So when I said that, I definitely did not feel like I had friendships I could depend on super well, but I've worked my ass off at really developing a closer relationship with the people who do show up for me because I realized throughout my journey, you know, I'm an only child. I had some issues with my parents growing up. I didn't have a lot of friends. I developed a lot of social anxiety and different weird quirks. Never really felt safe or secure with female friendships. I really never worked very hard on close relationships with female friends, and I was very hard on women who were in my life because it just never felt like a safe space to me. I didn't know what it was like to have secure attachments. Once I started healing from narcissistic abuse, I started really prioritizing my female friendships, and my 2 close girlfriends are Danielle and Michelle. Danielle is my friend from NYU. We had classes together. She's pretty much the only person from NYU that I talk to this day. It's great to have her as a friend because she's known me over 10 years. We have a lot of history together. And Michelle, I met because she's actually John's best friend's childhood friend, and now we've become super close. And really, you know, in the past year, I've been working on those friendships a lot. I'll think about friendships now in the same way I would think about a relationship. Thinking about love languages. Like for example, Danielle today is having knee surgery, so I'm putting together a nice little care package for her and I'm gonna surprise her at her parents' house while she's recovering. So whether it's unexpected gifts or words of affirmation, you know, expressing how much your friends mean to you, I really have to tell myself to put in that effort because it doesn't come naturally to me. Like, I just am not good at friendships. I never learned how to develop close relationships with people. I'm quickly going in with Glossier's Monochromes in Almond, and I'm taking this satin shade. And so I thought that was such a great question because, you know, when I did talk about it on YouTube, at that point, those were my closest friendships, but I hadn't really gotten to the level that I wanted with them. And now I make sure I put in the effort to text them weekly, if not every few days, to set up FaceTime dates because, you know, we don't live in the same place. Michelle lives in New York. Danielle lives in LA and she's moving to Montana. And it just really doesn't come naturally to me. You know, I have to remember to like check in with my friends, ask questions, ask deep questions, do nice things for my friends, remember the things that they tell me. Like, I really have to be super thoughtful about it. And now it's great because I'm at a place with my friendships where I do think I can rely on them, and they are amazing women and they mean so much to me. And now that I've been working on that, I'm so rewarded in being able to really be my authentic self around them. You know, I don't have to stress about seeing them. Both Danielle and Michelle have visited me for an extended period of time here, and it was so easy and so wonderful. So I just want you to know, if you're someone who's really struggled with friendships, you can strengthen them as an adult. You can find new friends and you can improve your relationships. It just takes a lot of work. And going back to my point about LA, that's also one of the reasons why we sadly would not buy this house, is because we need to put down some roots in a community of like-minded people. We want to find like-minded people in LA who want to go to concerts with us, or want to go for a walk, or come over and barbecue, or I don't know, like watch the Oscars or something. I don't know. And I'm really excited because a lot of content creators that I love are based in LA, and I'm so excited to see some of them, like the Garso twins, Skin by Star, Restroom Rituals, and so many other people. So I'm just feeling really excited and really fired up to get to LA, get the space that I want, a space where I can have peace and privacy and design it the way that I want, find a community of people like us, and really just start the next chapter of our lives. Because since the pandemic, we've just been in limbo, living in other people's houses, and as amazing as this place is, it's not ours. You know, I just want to go to like my local bar and cafe and be a regular that everybody knows, and meet my neighbors, and just really start the next chapter of our lives, not living in limbo. Okay, real quick guys, I have to say this is a total makeup fail for me. I don't know what it was, but something is making my face so greasy to the point where even my eyeshadow isn't sticking to my eyes. Like, the Rowan eyeshadows crease a lot, but not like this. Normally I can build up that opacity, and even my eyelashes aren't staying curled. Probably gonna have to use this again in the next video in a different way and just see if I can adjust how the performance is. So far, I'm just looking too dewy, my eyeshadow is creasing like crazy, and my eyelashes won't stay up. Luckily, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm really just using this as an excuse to like be super chatty and update you on some life stuff. I'm gonna add a little sparkle, so I'm gonna go with ColourPop Ritz. So that's the update on LA and the friendship question. So now I think I'll just provide a little update on the family situation, not in a sad, traumatic way, don't worry. The positive update is that my dad did suggest that we all start family counseling, which I think is a really great start. You know, my dad is not someone who enjoys talking about his feelings. So that meant a lot to me that he, you know, came up with some kind of solution. I do have some concerns about that though, because, you know, I've been in therapy for 4 years now, and I just imagine going into family counseling with my parents after not having spoken to my mom since January. Knowing that I have a lot of communication tools that I have learned in therapy and I have practiced over 4 years makes me feel like I'm just gonna be walking into like the lion's den, you know, like I'm just gonna be in this situation where I'm trying really hard to use my tools of patience and empathy and understanding, and I just don't trust that my parents will be able to provide the same thing. And so for me, I'm a little bit nervous about counseling because it just feels like something that will be really re-traumatizing and triggering. And I talked to my therapist about it. She totally agreed. She said, if your parents aren't in their own therapy to process your family counseling, then your family counseling will likely just turn into like a he said, she said argument, and it won't be productive and nothing will be accomplished. really we want to go into it to like bridge the gap. So she told me a couple different things and some different pieces of advice. She said, number one, narcissists don't change, so don't go into it expecting the relationship to change. Instead, go into it hoping that working with a family counselor with my parents will validate my experiences and get them to understand me on a deeper level. Even if it means they won't change, at least I will have the external validation of the experiences and trauma I went through, because a lack of validation has been probably the number one biggest issue in my relationship with my family. So she was like, if you have the goal of just validation, then that's great. You should probably be the one choosing the family therapist. The caveat should be your parents have to be in therapy separately. So I'm probably gonna offer to pay for the family counseling fully because my parents are financially pretty strapped, and then maybe they can get their own therapy because there's just decades of shit to work through. And if they're not in their own therapy, then it's kind of wasting my time, So I'm just hoping that my parents will be receptive to that and understand why they would need to have two different therapists. And honestly, I'm nervous about it. Like, I just feel like the second we have our first session, I'm gonna just be like enraged, But luckily, I have written quite a few letters to my parents over the years. So I have kind of a framework of how I can start the conversation for the family therapist. I'll do anything I can to make the situation better. I'll put in the work. I've shown that I'll do the work. It's really just a matter of if my parents are willing to do the work too. So if you've been through any kind of family counseling after a lot of trauma with your family, let us know in the comments below what tips you have, anything you learned about kind of navigating that difficult situation, because I've never done family counseling. John and I have been in couples therapy for 4 years, but never ever thought I would do any kind of counseling with my parents. So definitely start a conversation below if you guys have like any tips or tricks that might be helpful to all of us navigating these kinds of situations. And now I'm gonna do 2 different versions of like a flushed summer red lip. The first one I'm gonna do is take a brown liner and I'm just gonna line around my lips. I'm just gonna smudge that. My finger has glitter all over it, so I'm just gonna use a brush. Blur it out a little. I've had this Kosas Wet Oil Lip Gloss in Jaws for so many years, and I think I'm just gonna try to get some use out of it. So I'm gonna do like a little something in the inner part of my lip, and then just blur it. It's nice and sheer, and it's not like a red lip. Okay, so that's lip option number 1. For lip number 2, I'm gonna take the Chantecaille Wild Poppy Lip Cheek and just do a similar thing in the middle, but no brown liner. Very much kind of emulating like a K-Beauty blurred lip. It doesn't smell like cherries. It smells like strawberry candy, so it smells still really delicious. It's quite a thick lip oil, which I love. It's just very comfortable and nourishing. And there's almost no color. So a lot of people ask me to compare it to the InBeauty lip glazes. If you want something with color and you want a range of different finishes and scents, go for InBeauty. If you want something that is practically clear, then go for Fenty. There we go, cute. Ugh, that's not good. I might go in and add just like a touch more of this because I just want a little more color because I gotta take my thumbnail, you know how it is. YouTuber life. So that's it for today's look. I'm a little glammed up to go grocery shopping. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of frustrated about my Persona Kiss blush. I feel like I applied it so many times. It faded pretty quickly and it doesn't look super even on my cheeks. So I'm gonna have to play around with how this is best used. Maybe I'll ask some of my friends and check out their pages because I really, really like this color. But I don't think it's the easiest to use. I don't know. A few of these are TBD. I'm gonna have to circle back with you. I think for me, 100% though, the Bronzino is a pass. I'm gonna give this to a friend who really just likes a glossy, barely there highlighter because it just really did not show up on my cheeks other than some gloss. And I do like my highlighter to have more of like a soft focus kind of glow. I really liked the Tower 28 Sunny Days at first. I feel like though it started getting pretty dewy and I powdered my face 4 times in this video. and it's still so glossy. Again though, you know, it could have been the moisturizer I wore underneath. It could have been the fact that I put the Bronzino on my cheeks and my forehead. So I'm definitely gonna circle back on this because I really liked how it looked at first. Super impressed with the In Beauty cleanser. Used it as a first cleanse and a second cleanse. Instantly removed all of my super thick sunscreen, which is hard to do. So loving that one, definitely gonna keep you posted. And then the Fenty Cherry Lip Oil is an absolute must for me. I'm so blown away by this formula. It's glossy and high shine, it smells good, it's thick, it's nourishing. I'll wear it on days when I have no makeup because it's just practically clear. I love this. Thanks for watching this very chatty Get Ready with me. I hope that you're all doing well wherever you are, sending you lots of love. And if you made it this far, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.